Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering Black Phone 2. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, I'm drinking the Super Green Tea Brain Boost, and it's not boosted me very well. I need some more boost juice. But it's got green tea, ginkgo, Japanese green tea matcha, and ginkgo extract.
Well, 5 hours of sleep don't help.
Yeah.
But I am drinking Twinings Pure Peppermint, and it has peppermint. That's what it's got.
Oh my God.
Never would have guessed.
But for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So, Finney continues to deal with the aftermath of his escape while new disappearances begin to surface. The supernatural phone once again becomes a link between the living and the dead as the past refuses to stay buried. The story follows the spread of violence and the lingering presence behind it. So, not saying that the first movie isn't a little weird, but I feel like this one got really weird. A lot more. It kind of upped the weirdness a little bit.
A little. I feel like that was kind of bound to happen since the main antagonist is dead.
Yeah. But I definitely like where they went with the movie.
Yeah.
How it was about, dealing with the aftermath of everything. And I like the mystery about the missing campers that they were trying to find. I don't know, like for me, for entertainment, I give it a 7.5. Like the first movie I still prefer and liked better, but this is actually a pretty decent sequel. I felt like it did a good job continuing from the second one. It felt like it was, from the first one, it felt like it was a natural continuation rather than a forced, like, oh, we gotta, have a new drama. And I like the additional people that they added to it and involving the father a bit more. And the sister was pretty involved in the first one, but she definitely was a lot more involved.
She was definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I would argue
in this one.
Yeah. It's like in the last one, Finney was more the main character, and then this one, I feel like the sister is really the primary person.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of switched main and supporting roles between the two movies too.
Yeah. And, just like with the previous movie, the child acting was really, really good overall. And in this movie, obviously, the actors that they used from the previous movie have grown and matured a little bit more since then, but the acting still continued to be really good. And especially I feel like the actor that does Finney is especially talented, because it's like he was able to portray, I feel like, more like complex emotions in his facial expressions. And the sister was good too, and you can definitely understand the subtle struggles and things like that. But I don't know, he just sticks out a little bit more for me. But maybe it's because just because of his portrayal in the previous movie, it just kind of stayed with me. But no, it's I think overall the movie was really interesting. Um, but I know Jess mentioned this before we started recording, but it definitely felt a lot like Nightmare on Elm Street with like, her dreams, and how she could be like hurt in them and other people could be hurt. And like,
And the killer that was dead
yeah, like,
is attacking them in their dreams, and
yeah, like the ending, I'm kind of hesitant on because on the one hand, I understand it's them finally kind of moving past the trauma of what happened in that situation, and kind of like confronting it to move past it. But it was little like the ice skates and
Yeah.
him being all rotten, and then him like ice skating to like hurt people. It was just, it was a little out there. It was a
Was a
little out
choice.
there. Yeah. I feel like this one definitely goes a bit more surreal than the first one did.
for sure.
But no, it was still a good movie. Like I feel like for some people the second one might be skippable, especially like if you want kind of a similar feel of the first one. But
And a bit more serious.
yeah. But I mean, overall, though, I feel like they did a really good job, like I said, with representing, the trauma and the aftermath of everything. Really, the sibling relationship, kind of like their whole dynamic. I really enjoyed like learning more about their mom and kind of the struggles that the dad. Like, there's a lot of layers, and they have a lot of like most of the main characters have like a degree of complexity. Like even the ones that are slightly less important, like the Christian camp counselors or whatever, how they were like refusing to acknowledge or really like talk about what had happened at the camp. But I mean,
I love how the sister called them out on it too.
yes. But I mean, that happens. That happens. It's
Yes.
like, so I feel like they did such a good job with, having any additional characters that they add continue to bring more value to what was happening in the movie. So yeah, it's like the movie is a little out there, but really they honestly did a pretty good job. So I will definitely be watching this one again.
This one, the end especially felt more silly and not near as serious. He's still a problem, don't get me wrong. Like, the main antagonist is a bad dude, and getting rid of him is a challenge. But it feels a little, I don't know, the vibe felt a little more lighthearted than the original movie. And I think that's because they went so hard into like Nightmare on Elm Street kind of territory.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it as seriously.
Like, it's definitely still dark because obviously you're talking about a guy that murdered kids.
Yes. And that's horrible. And he did it in horrific ways too.
Yeah. But I see what you mean, where it's like, I feel like the first movie, it felt more of a hopelessness.
It was a more intense kind of situation, and the enemy was tangible.
Yeah. Well, this one, it's like the kids are gone, and it's almost like getting peace on what happened to them or where they are, or
it's closure.
Yeah, giving some sort of closure. So it's a little bit different of a feeling. Yeah.
They were able to to get closure, not just for themselves, but also for the families of the victims that their bodies were never found. Because, I mean, you can feel a little better that their killer is dead, but it's still different not knowing where or what happened to your kid or where their body is, to at least be able to say a proper goodbye. Like, the parents were basically in limbo.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find peace and move past it until you can get that. It's possible, and it is possible that when the camp owner guy started calling the parents, that he was basically just reopening a wound that they had been healing from and moved past. That is possible. Or it could be like a weight lifting off their shoulders. It really depends on the situation. Everybody is completely different. So, there's a lot of complexity to the movie, but also there are certain parts that I just can't take that seriously. And there were parts because of that made me laugh a fair bit. Either out of, okay, wasn't expecting that, or, oh, we're going into this territory now. All right, this is what we're doing now. Okay. So I still had kind of fun with this movie, though, and I still enjoyed it. I'm definitely not mad that I watched it. I give it a 7.5. I'm probably going to watch it again. It was interesting to me, and I like how they ended up tying in the mom.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good and interesting to me. I like that there was that tidbit of them being at the same camp as counselors or helpers. I think he was like a janitor or something, like a maintenance kind of guy. Mm-hmm. While she was a counselor. So she had contact with him, and then hearing about the other disappearances that started happening near her, like in her sort of town, like neighborhood or nearby area.
Mm-hmm.
It just struck a chord with her, and for her to not be able to let it go and have this feeling of, I need to check this out, and also her dreams and everything with different spirits trying to reach out to her to get help, and then her trying to do that and then just making a mistake and got caught herself. It's sad, but I do like how they tied all of that in.
Yeah.
So the family as a whole was able to get closure. The dad was able to alleviate some of the guilt that he had felt, thinking that there was something that he missed, that there was more that he could have done, when really none of it was his fault.
Yeah.
I like how they delved a little bit more into the sister's abilities with her dreams and how it was inherited from her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And how it seems like the brother at least got a portion of it, if not near as strong as the sister.
Well, that's kind of what they were hinting
Mm-hmm.
at with the previous movie. Yeah.
I know. But I like how they delve more into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like, because this is a few years later, it seems as if, because at one point I was kind of wondering why now? Why this long after? But it seems like he had been getting calls fairly regularly, but he kept ignoring them long enough that they're like, okay, you know what? We're going to go to your sister then.
Yeah.
We're going to go to someone who will help, sir. So all around, it's an interesting movie. The characters all have varied and unique personalities, which I appreciate. So you can actually distinguish between them. They're not all just cookie cutter people. Their reactions are fairly varied, with some people kind of believing them fairly easy, and others like, well, this is BS.
Yeah.
The other reactions and motivations of people, like the religious couple and all, are accurate and interesting, if not annoying, in some cases. The circumstances in which they find them, for the most part, make sense. It's a fairly-ish solid movie with a few caveats. Like, there are some things that I was like, this kind of took me out of the movie experience a bit. But we'll get to a lot of those in the realism. So, some fairly decent spoops. They did decent on a lot of the atmosphere. They didn't rely solely on jump scares, which we appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I like that and appreciate it. It's very nice. But all in all, decent. Honestly, better than I was expecting. Generally, when we see sequels, it's kind of lackluster, and oftentimes we just want to skip it. But I'm going to watch this one again.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for realism,
That's where it kind of takes a hit.
Well, it's like, obviously there's a lot of things I suspended to reality, so I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Just based off of like the relationships and then the character interactions and the different ways that the characters dealt with either the campers missing or the trauma of the killer and all of that. So yeah, that, I mean, I don't think I don't think that I need to bring up all the dream stuff. I would love to know how that works on like how he, like, first of all, like how she is able to just like go to places in her dream, as well as like him being able to influence both the dream and reality. But
yeah, that's a lot of where I counted off.
Yeah, so I just, yeah. Anyways,
I gave this one a 2 for realism. I took off pretty heavily because they never really defined why he was able to interact with things in the waking world. I mean, I get that they're supposed to be spirits, but again, they don't really define a whole lot there. And in the first movie, the spirits talk to the boy, but they don't really do anything. Like, they can't really affect anything in reality.
yeah.
So for this movie, suddenly he has, Freddy-like powers and can make her levitate and almost throw her into an oven that he turned on and throw things around a room. That seems more like demonic activity. And I know that they implied heavily that he like crawled back to their world from hell to wreak havoc and all, and was using the quote unquote fear and misery of the victims that were never found to boost himself. At least that's what they kind of sort of tried to
Yeah.
explain it as. that still seems like movie's got a movie and we want to up the ante and all kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So, and then the skating, and then the fact that they're also able to attack him in reality. Like, they were able to fight back even though they couldn't see him in reality.
Yep.
I know they were trying to bring in the fact that the brother was fighting a lot in the school, and also he basically got used to fights and knew how to take someone down. But and obviously the catharsis of, you know, getting to get rid of him once again. But it just seemed a little this was a choice. And it's fun. It's fun to watch. But no. just no. And the fact that he's able to heavily influence that much, even a good distance away from the sister who oftentimes was dreaming at the time.
Yeah.
Like, she was off in the cabin and he was affecting the camp owner guy out on the frozen lake. No.
Yeah.
So it just seemed a little odd. And I also took off for the fact that while I can understand the camp owner not being able to move past it and not being able to let go, like, he wants closure just as much as the families were wanting to have that closure and be able to bury their kids and say goodbye properly. I can see him all over that mountainside looking for potential dumping ground over and over and over. What I can't see is that many years going by and not a single goddamn person checking the lake.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking of, is where, like, one of them, the fact that they, like, saw one of them fairly quickly after.
One, yeah.
I know the others were a
it
little
took
bit
them
deeper.
hours to find that first one.
Right. But
they did find that one.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of a murky lake, and they tried to explain it. They did try. They tried to explain it as it was frozen over, and it's generally frozen fairly thick. So we didn't really think to check it. Like, we didn't see a point in checking it. But I'm sorry, you've been all over that goddamn mountainside, and you know for a fact that he had equipment to make a hole for ice fishing. Like, they made it a point to say that he would take the kids ice fishing now and then. That was one of the things that he did there. So he had the means and opportunity and a convenient area in which to dump the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And not a single person thought, you know, it's thawed now, and he was out on the lake fairly often. He had means to be able to cut into the lake wherever he wanted. Let's, for shits and giggles, check the lake, because we're getting nothing in the woods.
Yeah. And it's like the authorities are trying to, let's see.
In the sake of being thorough, at least.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I counted off a fair bit for that.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, again, at first I'd kind of counted off for it taking that long in between the movies for them to be like, we're going into this scenario now, dredging it up. But they did imply, I guess, that they were trying to kind of reach out, and it just got to a point where they were tired of trying to reach out to the brother. It wasn't working. And the sister was still kind of coming into her power, I guess. It was getting stronger and building, but it wasn't quite there yet. She wasn't at a level where they could really reach out to her yet. I feel like she was able to reach out and find her brother a little more easily because of the familial connection with him.
Yeah.
She had a stronger connection to begin with him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, not exactly a fully believable movie, especially toward the end. The beginning part was good. I could understand the beginning part. Though, I will say also, I did take off a little bit as well for the dad not waking up when first the sister and then the brother both left the house in the middle of the freaking night in the cold.
Yeah.
And snuck off to God knows where and didn't even think to... He didn't hear anything, didn't think to check. Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, well, the dad's kind of questionable.
Well, I know it's also a different time period too, but still, it's a little sus.
Well, I mean, in the first movie, though, they kind of imply that he's not the best dad.
Oh yeah, he was definitely like an alcoholic in the first one.
Yeah.
But they said expressly in this one that he was sober. Like, he was getting his chips, he was going to meetings.
Yeah.
He had kicked it.
Right. But I don't know. I felt like he had
to be
some
better.
Yeah.
He still wasn't the greatest. He was still obviously dealing with some trauma. But he was trying to be better and trying to be a bit more involved. He didn't know how to help his son, I think.
Yeah.
To deal with it. So he overlooked the son smoking pot and all. It's hard to navigate that. And they didn't have the resources back then in the time period that they're suggesting this took place in to really get him the help that he needed.
Yeah.
So I get that part. But I mean, both your kids left in the middle of the night, and one of them had been taken a few years before. I feel like most parents in that situation would be like, hold the phone.
Yeah.
Get your butts back in here. We're not doing this.
Yeah. Pun intended.
So, yeah. I guess. I don't know.
But thank you for joining us, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support the podcast, please subscribe, like, and share our content. We also have a Teespring and PayPal donate button available if you'd like to support us monetarily. And again, you can find all of those sites mentioned in the link below. But until next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.